The world is loud, but your soul, it whispers. In the quiet between thoughts, something eternal waits. Not the noise of who you should be, but the truth of who you are. Pain will strip you bare. Loss will carve you hollow. But in that emptiness, something sacred begins to breathe. Every fall teaches you the shape of your own strength. Every silence teaches you the sound of your own heart. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." You are not the storm. You are the mountain it crashes against. There are days when life feels like drowning in invisible waters, when breath itself becomes a burden, when the mirror becomes a stranger. But even there, in the dark, your light has not died. It waits. The world will not save you. The world will not stop to catch you. You must learn to rise with bleeding knees and shaking hands. You must learn to stand where the earth broke you. Every scar is a verse in your sacred scripture. Every heartbreak, a lesson written in fire. Seneca said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." So when pain comes, do not curse it. Let it forge you. Let it sculpt your soul into something unbreakable. Breathe. Listen, the universe is not against you. It is refining you. Each sunrise you survive is proof. You are still being shaped, still being chosen, still being called to something greater than survival. The Stoics knew what we forget. That peace is not found in comfort, but in control of the self. They woke to cold mornings, faced wars and loss, and yet they stood calm because their victory was inward. You too can learn that art, the art of stillness in chaos, the art of silence in rage, the art of standing unshaken. When the world mocks you, smile. When it abandons you, breathe. When it forgets you, remember. You were never here to be remembered. You were here to become real. You were here to awaken. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And perhaps that is what freedom truly is. Not running from pain, but holding it with grace. Not avoiding the fire, but walking through it without fear. There is beauty in endurance. There is holiness in perseverance. There is God in every breath you take after breaking. So walk slowly. Let the world rush past. Let the noise fade. You do not need to chase what is already yours. The universe is not in the distance. It's in your spine, your breath, your will to rise again. Remember this. No one can destroy a soul that does not cling to the world. No insult can wound a heart anchored in truth. No loss can break the one who has already died to fear. When you surrender to what is, the universe kneels before your calm. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are the awareness watching them drift by like clouds. The storms you fear have always been inside you, but so is the sky, the mind, your temple, your battlefield, your kingdom. Guard it. Discipline it. Cleanse it of envy, comparison, and despair. Every thought you allow becomes your fate. Every emotion you feed becomes your master. So feed the right ones. Feed patience. Feed humility. Feed strength that does not need to shout. There will be moments when your chest burns with the weight of existence, when your dreams crumble like dry leaves, when loneliness becomes the only voice in your head. And still, breathe. Sit with it. Do not run. Let the ache speak its language. Let it tell you what needs to die, so you may live lighter. There is no healing without breaking, no wisdom without wounds. The Stoics understood, pain is not punishment. It is preparation. You are not being tested. You are being tempered. Like iron in the forge, you are burning to become unbreakable. And though you feel alone, you are not. Every human heart across centuries has known the same ache. Marcus felt it. Seneca wrote of it. Epictetus lived through it. Their wisdom came not from peace, but from surviving the war within. You too are walking the same sacred path, through despair to discipline, through chaos to calm, through the storm, into silence. Listen, when you stop seeking peace in the world, you will find it in your breath. When you stop asking, "Why me?" you will hear the quiet answer, "Because you can bear it." The universe does not choose the weak for its heaviest burdens. It chooses the capable, the resilient, the awakened. And you were chosen. So stand again, even when your legs tremble, even when your faith falters. Rise slowly, like dawn after a long night, not because the world deserves your strength, but because your soul does. Forgive, not for them, but for your own peace. Detach, not because you do not care, but because you finally understand. Nothing external can define your worth. The Stoics lived among emperors and slaves, yet all sought the same freedom, freedom from themselves. You are both student and master, both broken and divine, both fire and ash. So let go of control. of regret, of needing to be understood. Silence is your teacher now, stillness your power. Close your eyes, feel your breath. That is eternity touching you. You do not need to know where you're going, only that you will not stop walking. Because meaning is not found at the end. It's born in every step you take through pain with dignity. Life will never be what you expect, but it will always be what you need. So love the uncertainty, welcome the unknown, bow to the mystery. Pain humbles the proud, silence teaches the lost. And time reveals what noise could never show. You will not see your strength in mirrors. You will find it in moments when no one is watching. When you are broken and still choose to stand. The Stoics knew virtue is not in words, but in endurance. It's in the quiet choices, the unseen battles, the forgiveness that never earns applause. Every day life hands you a choice. React or respond, collapse or create, surrender to chaos, or turn it into calm. And though the world demands you to rush, to prove, to shout, you must learn to move like water, unbothered, unstoppable, silent. Seneca once wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And he was right. It's not the events that wound us, it's our judgment of them. It's the story we tell ourselves when life does not bend to our will. But you can rewrite that story. Right now, you can decide that pain is not your enemy. It is your sculptor. That loss is not your ending. It is your initiation. Every time your heart breaks, it opens a little wider. Every time you lose something, you gain space for what's real. So thank your wounds, bow to your fears, honor your suffering, for it has brought you closer to truth than comfort ever could. You were not made for an easy life. You were made for a meaningful one. And meaning is born in the fire, in the nights when you question everything, in the moments when all that's left is breath. And yet, you breathe anyway. That is mastery. That is victory. That is self-rule. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Stop debating with your pain. Live through it. Transcend it. Show yourself what it means to endure without bitterness. There is nothing more powerful than a human who suffers without hatred. Nothing more divine than a soul that walks through hell and keeps its light. You will be misunderstood. You will be mocked for your calm. You will be doubted for your stillness. Let them. You are not here to be understood. You are here to understand. The strong do not need to convince. They simply are. You are not in competition with the world. You are in conversation with your own soul. And that dialogue, that eternal whisper, is the only thing worth listening to. Sit with yourself. Ask nothing. Expect nothing. Just sit. Listen to the pulse behind your ribs. Feel how it speaks without words. That rhythm, that is life reminding you it hasn't given up. You've fallen before, and yet here you are, breathing, existing, becoming. You don't need to rush your healing. You don't need to perform your strength. You just need to keep walking, slowly, deliberately, through the smoke. There will be temptations to escape, to numb the ache with distractions, to fill the silence with noise. But healing only comes when you face the emptiness and dare to stand still in it. Do not run from your solitude. It is not loneliness, and it is initiation. The great souls of history walked alone before they were understood. Epictetus had nothing. He was born a slave. Yet his spirit, his reason, made him freer than his masters. Because freedom is not in circumstance. It is in discipline. It is in mastering the mind that wants to flee discomfort. That's the work. The sacred silent work no one sees. When you are tempted to break, whisper to yourself, "I have endured before. I can endure again." Every sunrise that meets your eyes after a night of despair is proof that something within you refuses to die. You are not fragile. You are fire disguised as flesh. You are eternity testing itself through human form. Let that knowing steady you. Let it quiet the noise. Because one day, you will look back on this pain and smile. Not because it didn't hurt, but because it forged you. Because it introduced you to the version of yourself that can no longer be shaken. There is beauty in scars. They are your story, written in resilience. They say, "I've lived, I've lost, and I'm still here." And that, my friend, is grace. When you embrace the impermanence of all things, you begin to live as the Stoics lived, without fear, without attachment, without regret. The world will fade, people will change, fortune will rise and fall like the tide. But your virtue, your choice to remain kind, grounded and present, that is immortal. That is your monument. Do not chase legacy. Chase depth. Chase wisdom. Chase peace. The Stoics did not seek fame. They sought freedom, and in mastering themselves, they conquered everything. When you wake tomorrow, do not ask for an easier path, ask for a stronger spirit. Because strength is not found in avoiding pain, but in transcending it. And when you walk through this world, do it softly, do it quietly. Leave light where there was shadow. Leave calm where there was fear. Leave love where there was pain. There will come a day when you no longer crave applause, when you no longer need to be seen, when the quiet becomes your home. That day you will understand. Freedom was never loud. It was silence. The kind of silence that feels like peace. Not absence, like presence. Not void. The Stoics sought this silence. They called it ataraxia. Tranquility of the soul. A stillness untouched by chaos. A calm that neither victory nor defeat could shake. You will feel it too. Not all at once, but slowly, like dawn spilling through broken blinds. In the middle of a day that once felt unbearable, you will breathe and realize you are no longer at war with yourself. It will not mean the pain is gone. It will mean you are no longer fighting it. Acceptance. That is the quiet revolution. Not resignation, but wisdom. The understanding that what happens is not your enemy. It simply is. And from that is, you can build anything. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Even emperors had to remind themselves to begin with gratitude. Even the powerful trembled before the weight of their own mind. So do not be ashamed of your struggle. It means you are alive. It means you are awake. The numb do not feel pain, but they do not feel joy either. You, the one who feels deeply, the one who keeps getting back up. You are not weak. You are the very definition of strength. Each tear, each failure, each heartbreak, they are sacred tools in your becoming. They are chisels, carving you into something eternal. And though the world sees only your cracks, the light sees through them. Do not hide your scars. They are your proof of transcendence. Seneca wrote, "To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of its strength and burden." So when pain visits again, and it will, welcome it like an old teacher. Ask it, "What lesson do you bring this time?" Do not curse the weight. You are being shaped for something vast, something only the disciplined can endure. Your pain is not random. It's intelligent. It's targeted at the part of you that resists growth. It breaks what must break, so your soul can finally stretch. There is no peace without expansion, no wisdom without loss. Life takes, but it also reveals. It reveals who you are when nothing is left to hide behind. The titles, the names, the roles, all fade, and what remains is truth. That truth cannot be bought. It cannot be given. It can only be lived through the endurance of what most run from. So walk toward the pain, not recklessly, but reverently. As when walking into sacred fire, you will not be destroyed. You will be purified. In your loneliness, you will meet your soul. In your silence, you will hear your wisdom. In your struggle, you will remember your power. You are not meant to stay broken. You are meant to remember that you were never broken at all. The soul cannot fracture. Only the image of the self can. And when that image dies, when the ego collapses under its own illusion, that's when you see the truth. You were never the mask. You were the light shining through it. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." So react not with despair, but with discipline. Not with bitterness, but with balance. Life is not your enemy. It is your training ground. It is your forge. Everything you've lost has brought you closer to the truth. Everything that hurt you has guided you toward humility. Everything that ended has made room for what's real. You are not behind. You are exactly where awakening happens. At the intersection of pain and peace, stand there. Do not flinch. Do not demand that the moment be softer. Meet it as it is, fully, bravely, calmly. The Stoics called this amor fati, love of fate. To love not only what is easy, but what is inevitable. To look at the broken pieces of your life and whisper, "This too is good." Not because it feels good, but because it teaches, because it frees. When you learn to love the totality of existence, you transcend it. The universe bends to those who stop resisting it. It cannot fight the one who welcomes all. And when you love your fate, even the unbearable parts, you become untouchable. No loss can break you, because you see the lesson. No chaos can shake you, because you are the calm. You become the still center in the turning of the world. Your peace becomes your power, your composure, your crown, your silence, your sanctuary. The wise do not shout their strength. They walk through storms, as if carried by the wind. They look at life and whisper, "Do your worst. I am ready." For the one who has accepted everything has nothing left to fear. Fear dies in the arms of acceptance. Anxiety dissolves in the presence of discipline. And when that happens, you are no longer human reacting to life. You are life, aware of itself. You will lose things you thought you could never live without. People, dreams, versions of yourself that once felt eternal. And it will hurt so deeply that you will question your own strength. But listen carefully. Nothing real is ever lost. Only illusions fall away. The Stoics called this impermanence. The understanding that everything external is borrowed, that what comes must leave, that what is born must die, and what dies transforms. The world will teach you to cling, to grasp at moments and people as if they could anchor you. But clinging is the root of every ache. Attachment breeds fear. Fear breeds suffering. Freedom begins when you let go. You are not what you hold on to. You are what remains when everything is gone. Imagine a flame. When the wind comes, it flickers. When the wind leaves, it still burns. That is you. Life will test your steadiness, but it cannot steal your fire. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." And when you begin to understand that, you realize so much of what hurt you was never truth. It was perception. It was interpretation. It was story, and stories can be rewritten. When someone betrays you, do not ask, "Why did they do this to me?" Ask instead, "What did this teach me about my expectations?" When you fail, do not say, "I am not enough." Say, "I am being refined." The Stoics did not reject emotion. They mastered it. They looked their rage, their grief, their sorrow in the eyes, and said, "You may visit, but you will not rule." To be Stoic is not to be cold. It is to burn without being consumed. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to break. You are allowed to question everything. But when the crying ends, when the breaking stops, rise with new wisdom. Rise with deeper love. Rise with quieter strength. There is nothing weak about feeling. It is only weakness to become enslaved by feeling. Feel it, but stay free. Let pain pass through you like wind through a mountain, unmoved, unbroken, unchanged at the core. Your task is not to avoid storms, but to stand unmoved beneath them. Because storms will always come, but peace is a choice. Seneca said, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." Worry is a thief that steals your present to pay for a future that may never come. The Stoic way is to live now, completely, courageously, calmly. You do not need to have everything figured out. The path reveals itself through action, not anxiety. So move forward, one breath at a time, one honest step after another. Do not wait for certainty. It will never arrive. Faith is not knowing the way. It's walking anyway. Trust life, even when it makes no sense. Especially then, the mind will scream for control. The heart will beg for comfort. But your soul, your eternal essence, wants only truth. And truth is not soft. It is raw. It is humbling. It dismantles every illusion you've built. But it leaves behind freedom. Freedom from needing to be liked. Freedom from needing to win. Freedom from the endless noise of more. You will begin to see that peace does not come from adding, but from subtracting. Less anger, less ego, less noise, less of the world's poison, and more of your own breath. You will begin to crave simplicity, a quiet room, a morning breeze, the company of your own thoughts, unafraid. That is the beginning of wisdom. That is the beginning of power. Because the world cannot manipulate the one who needs nothing. You become untouchable when your joy is self-made. You will walk among chaos like a calm sea. You will smile at insults as if they were whispers of the wind. You will give love, not because it is returned, but because it is who you are. The Stoic does not withhold emotion. He channels it. He transforms it into grace, even in suffering. You will say, "Thank you." Even in failure, you will whisper, "Teach me." That is what it means to be alive consciously. You are no longer waiting for peace. You are creating it. Each time you choose restraint over reaction, each time you choose compassion over resentment, each time you forgive the world for being imperfect, you evolve, and the world begins to mirror that evolution back to you. Because what you give attention to grows. If you feed anger, it consumes you. If you feed patience, it protects you. The Stoics practiced this daily, not in temples, but in their thoughts. They trained their minds like warriors. They stood guard at the gates of perception. And you must do the same. Every day, guard your mind. When envy knocks, deny it. When comparison whispers, silence it. When fear shouts, observe it, but do not obey. You are not your emotions. You are their witness. You are the space between them, vast, timeless, still. Meditate on that. You are not the waves. You are the ocean. Let life crash. Let it rage. Let it rise and fall. You remain. And in that remaining, you find everything you've been searching for. Peace, power, freedom, presence. There is a quiet victory that no one celebrates. The kind that happens when you stop running from yourself, when you sit with your pain and ask it what it wants to teach you, when you stop filling the silence with noise, and finally listen. You will not find peace by chasing it. Peace arrives when you stop moving long enough to feel it has always been there. The Stoics did not search for happiness. They searched for understanding. Because when you understand, you no longer need happiness to feel whole. You realize that even sorrow has a place in the sacred order. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Every obstacle you face, it isn't a barrier, it's an invitation, a call to evolve, a mirror showing you where your strength still sleeps. So do not curse the struggle. Bow to it. It is the sculptor's chisel against your marble, and though it cuts, it creates. The world will try to convince you that strength looks like control, but true strength, it looks like surrender. It looks like the willingness to trust what you cannot understand. It looks like walking into darkness and believing there is light somewhere within it. Your fears are liars. They promise safety and avoidance, but avoidance is a cage. It shrinks your world until it fits your comfort, and then it becomes your prison. The Stoics faced fear not by fighting it, but by questioning it. They asked, "What am I so afraid to lose? And what power does it really have over me?" You will find that most fears dissolve under scrutiny. Like mist under sunlight. Loss, you have survived it before. Pain, it has never stayed forever. Death, it is but a return to what you have always been. Energy, silence, awareness. When you see through fear, you see through illusion. And in that clarity, a strange calm descends. The kind of calm that no success or approval can give. The kind that no chaos can take away. That calm is your true nature. The Stoics lived by this. To be unmoved by praise or insult. To remain steady whether loved or hated. Because the opinions of others are merely echoes of their own turmoil. Do not seek validation from the broken. Seek understanding within yourself. When they attack, they reveal their suffering. When you respond with peace, you reveal your mastery. Epictetus taught, when someone does you wrong, consider that they are acting according to their understanding. So forgive them, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Resentment poisons the vessel that holds it. Let go, not to free them, but to free yourself. Let every wound become wisdom. Let every loss become liberation. One day you will thank the pain for waking you up. You will look back and realize it was never destroying you. It was stripping you. It was teaching you how to walk naked in truth. We live in a world that rewards noise. But the Stoics knew noise is not power. Stillness is. The quiet man who governs himself has more strength than 1,000 shouting kings. So train your mind in silence. Rise before the world stirs. Sit with your breath. Observe your thoughts as clouds. Do not chase them. Do not judge them. Let them pass. That is how you regain command of your spirit. That is how you remember that nothing external can disturb you without your consent. Seneca said, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." So decide who you are, decide what matters, and let every storm guide you closer to that port. You will not always feel inspired. You will not always feel strong, but you must always act with intention. For discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you wish to become. Even the Stoics had doubts. Even Marcus had days he could not bear to rise from bed. But they rose anyway. Because purpose is not a mood, it is a command. Rise, even when your heart is heavy. Rise, even when the world feels indifferent. Rise, because your breath is proof that life has not finished with you yet. Do not waste your suffering. Use it. Shape it. Let it sharpen your soul into clarity. When life burns away all that is false, what remains is real. And what is real cannot be harmed. You are not fragile. You are forged. Every heartbreak has been your blacksmith. Every loss, a hammer. Every tear, the cooling water of transformation. The time for self-pity is over. You have seen too much to go back to sleep. You know now that peace is earned through pain. That mastery is purchased in moments of weakness resisted. That greatness begins in humility. The Stoic's path is not one of perfection. It is one of return. Again and again, you fall and return to the calm center. You are human. You will stumble. You will forget. But each time you remember, Each time you choose peace instead of panic, you grow closer to truth, and truth will set you free. So breathe again, slowly, deeply. Inhale what is real, exhale what is not. The past no longer exists. The future is only a dream. There is only this, now. The dawn arrives quietly, as all revelations do. No trumpets, no applause. Only light, slipping gently through the cracks of a weary heart. You open your eyes, and something has shifted. The world is still the same, but you are not. The noise that once drowned you now feels distant. Like waves breaking far from shore, there is space between thought and reaction, between emotion and expression. And in that space, you discover your freedom. The Stoics lived for that space, for that single breath between impulse and choice. Because in that breath, the entire power of the human spirit lives. You feel it now. The calm beneath the chaos, the witness behind the noise, the stillness that no storm can touch. You begin to see, peace was never something to find. It was something to remember. You were born with it, before the noise of the world taught you fear, before the opinions of others shaped your worth, before time made you forget the miracle of simply breathing. Every philosophy, every hardship, every tear was only leading you back home, back to yourself. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And mastery is not dominance. It is harmony. It is walking into the storm and choosing stillness. You are learning that now. To bend but not break, to feel but not drown, to hurt but not hate. The greatest warriors fight no one but themselves. And you are winning that war quietly. No one will see the battles you've fought in silence. No one will clap when you forgive instead of retaliate. But the universe takes note. Your peace is its applause. Each time you rise above anger, each time you choose patience over pride, you ascend a little closer to eternity. Because peace is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. The Stoics were not gods, they were human. They loved. They lost. They broke. But they refused to let the world dictate the state of their souls. They ruled themselves, and that was enough. You must do the same. Rule your mind. Discipline your heart. Calm your breath. Do not let the world drag you into its madness. Stay where truth lives, in the quiet, in the now, in the unshakable center of being. Seneca once wrote, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." Fear is the thief of greatness, not death, fear of it. Do not live avoiding endings. Live so deeply that even endings bow to your peace. When you walk through this world, let it be with gentleness. Let it be with grace. Do not meet cruelty with cruelty and meet it with mastery. For what can hate do to a heart that no longer reacts? What can the world take from a soul that needs nothing? You will notice one day that your joy no longer depends on things, that your peace no longer wavers with the weather, that your worth no longer trembles in the hands of others. That day you will smile quietly to yourself, because you have become what you always sought, complete, whole. Enough! The Stoics did not seek perfection. They sought progress. A little more patience than yesterday, a little more awareness than before. They understood that wisdom is not a mountain, but a path, one you walk until your last breath. And every step counts. Every choice matters. Even the smallest moment of restraint is a victory for your soul. You are walking that path now, and the universe walks with you. You will fail again, and that's all right. You will fall, and that's all right too. Because what matters is not the fall, but the return. You are not measured by how perfectly you live, but by how deeply you learn. And each time you return, you rise wiser, calmer, more whole. Pain becomes teacher. Failure becomes compass. Time becomes friend. All things begin to work together. When your mind no longer fights them, that is Stoicism. Not detachment, but understanding. To see things as they are, to love them as they are, to act rightly despite the outcome. That is mastery. That is freedom. When you stop demanding that life be easy, you begin to live easily within it. You understand that the waves will rise and fall, and yet the ocean remains. You understand that people will come and go, and yet love remains. You understand that pain will pass, and yet meaning remains. This is peace, not the absence of struggle, but the presence of clarity. And from that clarity, you begin to give differently. You no longer speak to prove. You no longer act to impress. You move from love, because it is what you are. And in that, you find God, not in temples, not in books, but in the quiet dignity of your own breath. The Stoics called it the Logos, the divine reason flowing through all things. You call it truth. You call it peace. You call it home. Whatever the name, it has always been you. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean, remembering itself through a drop. You were never meant to conquer the world. You were meant to understand it, to live in harmony with it, to walk through it like a flame through darkness, quiet, steady, eternal. And when your time comes to leave this world, leave it gently. Leave it empty of regret. Leave it full of gratitude. For every trial, every tear, every breath. The dawn arrives quietly, as all revelations do. No trumpets, no applause. Only light, slipping gently through the cracks of a weary heart. You open your eyes, and something has shifted. The world is still the same, but you are not. The noise that once drowned you now feels distant. Like waves breaking far from shore, there is space between thought and reaction, between emotion and expression. And in that space, you discover your freedom. The Stoics lived for that space, for that single breath between impulse and choice. Because in that breath, the entire power of the human spirit lives. You feel it now. The calm beneath the chaos, the witness behind the noise, the stillness that no storm can touch. You begin to see, peace was never something to find. It was something to remember. You were born with it, before the noise of the world taught you fear, before the opinions of others shaped your worth, before time made you forget the miracle of simply breathing. Every philosophy, every hardship, every tear was only leading you back home, back to yourself. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And mastery is not dominance. It is harmony. It is walking into the storm and choosing stillness. You are learning that now. To bend but not break, to feel but not drown, to hurt but not hate. The greatest warriors fight no one but themselves. And you are winning that war quietly. No one will see the battles you've fought in silence. No one will clap when you forgive instead of retaliate. But the universe takes note. Your peace is its applause. Each time you rise above anger, each time you choose patience over pride, you ascend a little closer to eternity. Because peace is not weakness. It is the highest form of strength. The Stoics were not gods, they were human. They loved. They lost. They broke. But they refused to let the world dictate the state of their souls. They ruled themselves, and that was enough. You must do the same. Rule your mind. Discipline your heart. Calm your breath. Do not let the world drag you into its madness. Stay where truth lives, in the quiet, in the now, in the unshakable center of being. Seneca once wrote, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." Fear is the thief of greatness, not death, fear of it. Do not live avoiding endings. Live so deeply that even endings bow to your peace. When you walk through this world, let it be with gentleness. Let it be with grace. Do not meet cruelty with cruelty and meet it with mastery. For what can hate do to a heart that no longer reacts? What can the world take from a soul that needs nothing? You will notice one day that your joy no longer depends on things, that your peace no longer wavers with the weather, that your worth no longer trembles in the hands of others. That day you will smile quietly to yourself, because you have become what you always sought, complete, whole. Enough! The Stoics did not seek perfection. They sought progress. A little more patience than yesterday, a little more awareness than before. They understood that wisdom is not a mountain, but a path, one you walk until your last breath. And every step counts. Every choice matters. Even the smallest moment of restraint is a victory for your soul. You are walking that path now, and the universe walks with you. You will fail again, and that's all right. You will fall, and that's all right too. Because what matters is not the fall, but the return. You are not measured by how perfectly you live, but by how deeply you learn. And each time you return, you rise wiser, calmer, more whole. Pain becomes teacher. Failure becomes compass. Time becomes friend. All things begin to work together. When your mind no longer fights them, that is Stoicism. Not detachment, but understanding. To see things as they are, to love them as they are, to act rightly despite the outcome. That is mastery. That is freedom. When you stop demanding that life be easy, you begin to live easily within it. You understand that the waves will rise and fall, and yet the ocean remains. You understand that people will come and go, and yet love remains. You understand that pain will pass, and yet meaning remains. This is peace, not the absence of struggle, but the presence of clarity. And from that clarity, you begin to give differently. You no longer speak to prove. You no longer act to impress. You move from love, because it is what you are. And in that, you find God, not in temples, not in books, but in the quiet dignity of your own breath. The Stoics called it the Logos, the divine reason flowing through all things. You call it truth. You call it peace. You call it home, whatever the name. It has always been you. You are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean, remembering itself through a drop. You were never meant to conquer the world. You were meant to understand it, to live in harmony with it, to walk through it like a flame through darkness,